wonderful thing about animals is that they are endlessly fascinating and varied. They can have fur and claws, feathers and beaks. They can live on their own or in wonderful social groups like these lemurs.
And the thing I love about lemurs is they're always so happy.
You know why that is, don't you, Ben?
Go on, tell me.
Because the women are in charge.
A bit like working here with you then, Kate.
Absolutely. I'm glad you've got the measure of things at last.
I know my place.
And today, it's all about the importance of pecking orders here at the park.
First up, a hot new Stallion's on the reserve.
Oh, he's nice, isn't he? He's pretty handsome.
But will this pin-up capture these ladies' hearts? There's a salty snack for Buster the sea lion.
Thanks, Buster.
And a pride of lions get a true call of the wild.
Amazing.
That was incredible.
The park's cheetah family have had a devastating time this year, and just when things were starting to pick up, the future of the breeding group once again is in jeopardy because the life of Dad Carl is hanging in the balance.
What was the needle size, Ian?
1.5.
1.5, 5 mil dart.
Vet Chris and keepers Amy and Ian are preparing to sedate Carl, the ageing father of the park's cheetah family. They've spotted a suspicious lump on his elbow that needs urgent attention, and he appears underweight. These may be signs of a very serious problem.
There's a potential unknown underlying issue. So if we have an animal that's got some liver disease or something and we sedate it in the way that we would with a healthy animal, we might be running a bit of an extra risk there.
Putting any animal under anaesthetic is always risky. To make matters worse, the life expectancy of a captive cheetah is around 12. Carl is 11.
I'll get the X-ray kit. We'll X-ray the elbow. We'll need to do both elbows for comparison.
The team relocate to the cheetah house.
I'll open up the gates and then we can drive right in. Carl! Get there, boy! Good boy, Carl!
Cheetahs can be skittish.
Carl! He just walked straight past his pen. He should be on his way in. Here, what's this?
Carl smells a rat.
Come on.
A real one.
Come on, good boy. Come on then, in here.
Come on then.
Clear! Have you seen it?
It's on this right elbow, is it?
Yeah.
It's a combination of that with a bit of potential weight loss, isn't it? That's why we're really...
Yeah, his condition, he's lost a bit of condition. But he's getting on a bit now. He's 11 years old, so yeah.
Well, we'll do a full blood profile on him. Just check liver, kidney, everything else.
Yeah, great.
We'll give him some fluids whilst he's under.
Want to dart first?
You can dart first, yeah.
Battery's in there, ready to go, is it? Yeah.
Amy prepares to administer the dart.
2 bars.
Yeah.
Safety's on.
She's cared for Carl for 7 years.
It is always a bit of a worry on a personal level because you've worked with these animals for so long. He was very young when he arrived and sort of he's spent most of his life here.
Sat down nice.
Good boy. Good boy. It's gone off.
It's gone off.
As the sedative courses through his veins, Carl, a cornerstone of the park's cheetah family, begins to go under.
So Carl is really important to us here at the park, but also he's part of the international breeding programme with Wilma, and we need to make sure that he's fit and healthy to continue breeding.
For now, all Amy can do is wait.
It's exciting times over in the East Africa Reserve. The keepers have managed to find a hot stud to try and woo the female zebra. But getting this new date into the enclosure is no easy task. And once he's there, will it be love at first sight?
There's excitement at the East Africa Reserve.
We need someone else to be inside, so I'm wondering, Kev, for a bit of muscle.
Keeper Polly's prepping the team for the arrival of a feisty new zebra stallion.
Okay, plan is you, Joe, and Kev inside.
Yeah.
Do you want an extra person as well?
Yeah.
Russell? We're bringing him in as our breeding stallion, so we haven't had a stallion for a few months, so it's nice to bring in a new bloodline.
Terry's the stallion handler. She's brought him to Longleat and knows only too well that zebras can be fierce, dangerous animals. Though related to the horse, they're far from domesticated.
I'll tell Drew when we're ready, and he's going to pull the rope, which will just control the opening of that door, and then it's just a little bit of peace and quiet. So radio's off, phone's off. They have a massive fight and flight instinct, and they tend to use their teeth and their feet an awful lot more than horses. He might jump over there and decide that he's going in with the giraffes. He might jump over the top of us. He might stay in there for quite a long time. Okay, you'll want to be as high as you can. Okay, Drew.
It's all hands on deck. The team has created a corridor with one route to his pen. The hope is he'll calmly find his way, but that's far from certain. The team's not taking any risks.
Good boy, Evie. Come on then.
They must protect themselves in case this hot-blooded 5-year-old boy charges in.
Yeah, good boy. Yeah, come on, you're coming the right way. Come on, good man. Good boy. Okay, guys, he's off the trailer, but he's just in the pathway. Good lad. Yeah, there's the man. There's water. He's in. Yeah.
That was smooth.
Evie might have found his way into his stable easily enough,
Nice one.
but his true success at the park will be determined by how well he gets on with the ladies.
Oh, he's quite nice, isn't he? He's pretty handsome.
Well, Polly likes him, but she's not the one he's got to impress.
There are a few things that you really have got to get right when you're looking for a future male to come and join us here at the park.
Head of Animal Operations Darren knows exactly the kind of stallion required to lead this unstructured 8-strong girl gang.
He's got to be calm. He's got to be, the word kind to the females. He's creating a herd. He's going to protect these females. He's got to have some perseverance, but without the anger issues, without the aggression.
As head of his harem, there's a lot of responsibility on this boy's shoulders.
I think in a perfect world, I'm expecting him to come out, say hello to all the ladies, sniff out the reserve, and relax and feel very comfortable.
But don't be fooled. These females are high maintenance and hard to please.
Female zebras can be quite catty. The females don't accept a stallion straight away. He needs to win them over. So it just depends on his character and how the girls take him, really.
To see how the introduction of EB will affect the herd, Polly's conducting an ethogram test before and after the mix. It's a behavioural study used to evaluate the health and harmony of wild and captive animals. At regular intervals, she'll note the activities of one zebra as a representative of the herd, looking out for a range of behaviours.
I'm going to focus on this one that's standing here. She's 18 this year, so she's one of our oldest. She's fairly low ranking, so I think it'll be interesting to see how the stallion responds to her. She started off resting. There was a bit of contact where she just had a rub on another zebra, and then she went back to resting.
Since the last stallion left, the ladies haven't had to vie for male attention. But once EB's introduced, the hierarchy is likely to change.
Still casual, still just chilling. The results are kind of average for what I'd expect. They're comfortable out here. They're not worried about anything.
But the new man on the scene is sure to shake things up within the group.
I think when the stallion gets mixed in, there won't be as much rest periods, not straight off. They will have periods of rest, but I think to start with, there will just be a lot of running around, and I'm not sure they'd all be so settled at one time like they are at the moment.
Nothing's written in black and white when it comes to mixing animals, And there's no telling whether this lover boy will be able to win over his female suitors.
I'm down at Half Mile Lake with Mark Tighe and the sea lions. Now, this is one of the things that perplexes me. They are called sea lions, but here in Wiltshire, they are lake lions.
Yes, indeed they are.
So, can they be just as happy in freshwater than seawater?
Yes, they can. They don't have any problems at all, other than the fact that we have to supplement their diet with salt.
Really? So actually, the salt water isn't just the environment they happen to live in. They need the elements of the salt,
Yes,
do they?
they do.
What does it do for them?
Well, for one, it helps keep their eyes very clear.
Really?
Yes, without salt, their eyes can go very cloudy.
Right.
So it's one of the things we give them, these slow-release salt tablets.
This is what I'm holding here, is it?
And we stuff these into mackerel.
OK. I like your thinking, Mr. Tighe.
It's all about keeping those salt levels high.
Yeah.
It's the environment they live in. It's what they're used to.
And do you have to do this every day?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Right.
Every day he has 11 tablets in total.
Wow. So this is for Buster, the male, waiting patiently on the beach here.
He's a very good patient. He takes his food very well.
Now, I've obviously fed the sea lions quite a lot over the years, but I've never done this. I mean, usually either we're on the boat or we're on here and we just sort of feed them willy-nilly. But because this is a sort of specific dose, he has to have these. It can't go to the girls as well. Is that right?
That's right. So he has his own little station on the rock at the end.
Right.
Which he will jump up on.
OK.
You can feed all of those to him.
OK, all of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
He will take those quite happily from you.
Right.
He's very well behaved.
Yeah. Do I throw them at him?
Oh, you can just drop them into his mouth.
Okay.
He's quite relaxed.
OK.
The others, on the other hand, aren't. They're quite good for a short period of time, and they'll sit on their rocks very briefly.
Yeah.
But once they've finished, they may well come and mug us.
And try and steal his food?
Yes.
OK, so what do we need to know about that?
Run.
Really? Is that the thing?
Yeah. They're good at biting legs.
OK, OK. So, and presumably that goes the same for the camera crew and everybody?
Yes.
OK. How nifty on your feet are you feeling this afternoon? All right? Yeah. OK, so it is literally, if you say run, we run.
Yeah. Or swim.
I'll go for the running.
OK. Right, Buster, you ready? Come on, then.
I'm always staggered by the relationship that you have with these animals. I know you see them every day. I know, you're with them through kind of thick and thin, but, they're not sort of dogs and cats. And it just always amazes me how much. Look at that. You're so beautifully behaved.
Yeah.
Oh,
he is
Buster,
a lovely lad.
Now, he had a fairly big operation recently. You made the hard decision to castrate him so that he couldn't breed anymore.
We did, yes. He was very well represented, and also with some of his daughters in the lake. We didn't want him breeding, obviously, with them.
Yeah.
It was a decision that we didn't take lightly.
Well, I have to say, he's lost weight. He doesn't look quite as hefty as he did before.
No, that's right, and I think that's because he's lost his testosterone urge, which would bulk. He would feed a lot through the winter to bulk himself out ready for the breeding season. Obviously, he's lost that urge.
But he's looking in really fine form.
He's looking great, yes.
You are such a handsome boy, but I'm sorry, Buster, there's... I know, it's rubbish on you.
Thanks.
There's no more fish. Sorry, mate. Do you want the rest of that as well? There we go. Yum! Big fishy face wasp. Well, always.
Thanks.
Thanks, Buster. See ya.
Across now to lion country. In the wild, lions rely on their nose, eyes, and ears to identify their prey and detect danger. Jean's about to find out if the park's captive-bred lions will recognise the different calls of the wild.
So, Caleb, what are we up to?
So we're going to play some sound effects to these guys from outside their enclosure using a PA system, and we're actually going to play them other predator sounds, prey sounds, and another rival pride of lions, and see how they react
I mean, they look pretty relaxed to me. They're just enjoying an afternoon sleeping in the sun.
Yeah, they look relaxed, but actually they're highly tuned to what's going on around them. And obviously the opportunity to catch food is dependent on if they hear prey as well as if they see it. So everything hinges off that ability to hear what's going on around them, to see what's going on around them. So generally, even if they're asleep like it looks like Klaus is, his ears will actually be listening to a lot of what's going on. It is life or death for them, because if they hear another pride of lions coming into their territory, they've either got to move away or they've got to challenge them and try and chase them out. So they would be never switched off in the wild, because they might have to hunt something, they might have rival animals coming in and trying to take their territory. So these guys are very similar in captivity as well. They never truly relax. They generally are very switched on to what's going on around them.
I'm really excited to see how they react to these sounds, because you've never done this before, have you?
No, I don't think they've ever heard sound effects before, so it's really exciting.
Right, should we go for it?
Yeah, let's go for it.
What do we play first?
I think we should try with the prey species first, because that's going to hopefully prick their ears and get them sort of focused in the direction of the PA system. Can you play the first prey sound effect, please? So the zebra sound is definitely focused their attention.
Look at that, one after the other.
Yeah.
They just perked up, didn't they?
They've all perked up.
That was great. I mean, they were sleeping, totally relaxed, and now they're very much on guard.
Yeah, on high alert.
So to them, there could be a zebra around, and that's something they could hunt.
You know, it's great for us to know that they listen, they know it's a sound that they should be interested in, and they've all focused that way straight away, so it's great.
What finely tuned ears they've got. Right, next one.
Yeah. Animal Park James, can you play the next sound effect for us, please? So this is the wildebeest sound effect, and actually it's had the same response as the zebra. It's got all their eyes and ears focused in the direction the sound's coming from, and they are really intent looking on that direction. A couple of the other lionesses are starting to walk towards it. So I think it's having the desired effect.
That's brilliant.
And generally these guys are the most interested in hunting things, and they're starting to not hunt, but they're walking towards the sound. I think it is simulated.
They've just turned from being cute and sleepy and relaxed to really menacing and ready to pounce. I mean, look at their faces. They mean business.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And do you know what's amazing? They've never heard of wildebeest on this park. That's a real built-in instinct. Shall we move along with them?
Yeah, I think we should. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I mean, for lions that have been raised in that captivity to react like that must be so great for you to see.
It's really interesting as well because of the set out that the lions have got pacing. So the two biggest, strongest lionesses are sort of led down in ambush positions.
I can see them down
so
there,
they're called Nyota and Tana, and they weigh 170 and 160 kilos respectively. And normally they would tackle prey. And then all the lionesses that are pacing are the ones that chase. So it would be like this in the wild as well. These guys would be the ones that would herd and chase the wildebeest, and then they would probably try and run them towards the direction of those two lionesses waiting in ambush, because they're the ones who have got the physical muscle and the weight advantage to actually tackle them and bring them down. We're seeing instincts just in what they're doing and the way they're behaving to these sounds that I didn't know they were capable of.
Yeah, they're all falling into their roles, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what they're doing, which is fantastic. Can you play the next sound effect, please?
Yep, it'll be buffalo prey.
Buffalo and lions are relentless enemies, so this should provoke a sort of frenzied reaction because...
They've already sped up. They're already walking faster within seconds.
Yeah. And again, the really interesting thing is buffalo at certain times of the year can only be hunted by male lions, and the sound of the buffalo has actually got Klaus, the biggest male lion, to come over as well.
Because he was keeping out of everything,
Yeah, he wasn't
he?
interested by the smaller animals, but buffalo require male lions sometimes because they can weigh, you know, 4 or 5 times as much as a lion, so actually they do need to be brought down by the bigger animals. And it's nice to know that Klaus and Simba have sort of interacted as well and sort of got on the same page, so that if something big needed to be brought down, we've got every available weapon in their arsenal to come and do it.
It's actually mind-blowing, Caleb. I mean, it's textbook, that instinct that they're born with, no matter where they're born or how they're raised.
Later, we'll return when the pride of lions are confronted by the call of their mortal enemies.
10 minutes?
Yes.
Give him a poke.
In the Cheetah house, Carl is under anaesthetic whilst an investigation is underway to find out what the lump is on his leg and if he's losing weight.
The older the animals get, we need to take a bit more care, and putting them under general anaesthetic, it can be a worry.
The team need to keep him sedated for as short a time as possible.
Do you want to get your scales set up? What we'll do, we'll bring him straight on it, because I want to put him on fluids.
From now on, every second counts for the patriarch of the park's cheetah family. Before the vets can look at the lump on his leg, the team need to check his weight.
Yeah, sorry, I just zeroed it for you here. 41 kilos.
It was on -5, so he's 41.5. Yeah, so he's lost 1 kilo in weight since January. So last time I weighed him, it was 42.5 kilos, and now he's 41.5. 1 kilo over a few months, it's not that bad at all.
With the team happy with his weight, elderly Carl is put on a hydrating drip.
Right, you concentrate on the IV access. I'll get all the other kit up here.
Mouth's twitching a little bit.
Oh, there's a twitch there as well.
Flowing. Elderly and unknown health status, it's always sensible to get IV access and some fluids in. We need to crack on and get some more done, don't we?
Now Chris's focus moves to the mysterious lump.
It's soft, isn't it? First impressions of the elbow is it's clearly fluid-filled, and I wonder if it's connected to his joint. So we'll get some quick x-rays, and I probably will suck some fluid out and send it off, so we know what we're dealing with. Whack a gown on.
Lead jackets protect the vet team from radiation.
I have to get out in a sec.
X-rays. So come round.
X-rays.
Let's just quickly flip him over.
X-rays.
What time are we on, Alice?
30 minutes.
30, OK. Yeah, you can come back in. Cool. We're done X-raying.
Thanks, Chris.
There's just half an hour until Carl will come round.
Alice, do you want to go up front end? Just keep an eye on his blink reflex. Check his jaw tone every now and then. If it changes, let me know.
Time is ticking by and there's still a lot to do.
Open the surgical box, Alex, and then just get some spirit and a swab. Swab this, and then we'll stick a needle in to see what fluid's in it.
The race is on and the team's under pressure to find out the root cause of the problem. Chris needs to get a needle in to collect blood. He wants to check for organ disease or infection that could be life-threatening. But the blood vessels in Carl's slender legs aren't forthcoming.
I don't think I'm going to get enough blood out of that. I'm going to go back leg. So if we swab, you can give that a good swab, suck out whatever's in there. I've got some universal containers to put it in afterwards, and I'll do the back leg. See if we can get a vein up.
While Chris continues searching for a blood vessel, his colleague Alex begins draining the lump.
And then give me a time check. 35 minutes. We want to make sure that that fluid that's come out is sterile. If we're getting inflammation and spillage of the joint fluid because there is a bacterial infection in there, that could be a big problem for him.
Finally, Chris has a vein.
I think what we will do, I'm going to give him a good dose of antibiotics.
Yep. Good.
Purely because that looks like it connects with his joint.
Yep.
And joints are privileged spaces, which means that they don't have very good blood supply. They work by keeping bugs out. But if bugs get in, then you can have big problems.
Yep. Should we do his teeth quick?
Yeah, get his teeth if you want to get them.
Carl's been under for 40 minutes. Chris has just a few minutes more before he needs to bring him round.
Just shout if you get any resistance from his jaw. We're just giving an antibiotic. What we've seemed to have found in the elbow is joint fluid, so we suspect that he's had some trauma to his elbow joint, and it's burst a little synovial bursa in there. But we will double check that, send the fluid off, make sure there's no bacteria in it. This is the problem elbow here.
Mm-hmm. See that, yeah.
There's the fluid, which looks quite contained.
There's one final nerve-wracking part of the procedure.
We need to reverse him. get him in his house and just see him recover nicely before we really pat ourselves on the back. Right, let's get him back in his cage, and then we'll get the fluids off and we'll reverse him. Yeah, give it to him.
The team now have a nervous wait for Carl to come round.
At the East Africa Reserve, it's a big day for zebra stallion EB. 30 days after his arrival, the team are prepping for his release.
He's done his quarantine with us, all his secondary retests, they're all fine, so he's good to go.
Team manager Ryan's en route to let the stallion loose, while Tara tries to entice the female zebras away in the hope of avoiding an immediate showdown.
So I'm just going to try and call them back over for some food to keep them interested out in the park instead of trying to get up the raceway to him. So I'm just going to pop out and give them some food. Come on.
Zebra stallions are fiercely hierarchical, and there's concern about how EB will behave when he's let out.
We are expecting him to come down here, meet his new females, be quite interested in them. There probably will be a bit of squabbling because they've got to find the new hierarchy in the group. The worst case scenario, I think, would be some sort of injury between any of the species.
It's not only female zebras that live in this section. The keepers are concerned how the other animals will react to the new boy.
So the tricky thing is, I think, A, he's a new stallion. We don't exactly know how his behaviour is going to be out in a big reserve like this. We've also got a lot of giraffe calves out here. If one of those, or more than one of those calves, reacts to his presence and runs away, he could chase them. And I've seen that get quite nasty. Another concern is the fact that it's a big group of zebra, so therefore it might be that he doesn't feel comfortable accepting all of those individuals in his immediate space.
Already the giraffes have sensed that something's going on, and Bull Thorn is in full protective mode at the bottom of the race.
Giraffe, one run.
I think just leave him there, Tara.
Moments before the release, the stallion calls to his new harem, and the girls rush over as an anxious Tara looks on.
His calling's got our zebs. They're not going to listen to me, so they're heading up towards the raceway.
It's too dangerous for the keepers to intervene. They need to decide quickly if they're going to delay the release.
Yeah, thanks, Tara. Keep us focused.
Tara gives the all clear.
Ryan, you're all good to go.
Just as EB's about to make his big entry, a young giraffe is spooked by the stallion en route, causing the rest of the animals to make a run for it. Just Thorn, the bull, remains on guard. Thorn allows the youngster onto the reserve. EB's barely arrived, and the girls are already giving chase.
So this would be completely natural. They need to go see what he is, who he is, his smell, and teach him who's boss, really.
But EB quickly needs to step up and take charge.
And he needs to put them in their place and tell them, like, I'm the new man, and I'm going to be in charge.
They're not impressed.
It's natural for them to kick at each other, and that's their way of telling each other off, basically. They might have little nibbles on the back of their legs, but mainly they use their feet. That's Kabibi, who's mainly kicking him. Kabibi is quite a confident female of ours, so she was mainly having a go at him about it all. But they weren't all ganging up on him at once, which was nice.
It takes just 20 minutes for the females to calm down, as Evie relaxes into his new surroundings.
It's really good that they've settled so quickly. You can tell they're still interested in him because they keep going up to him and smelling him and just having a little bit of a nuzzle and stuff like that.
Ryan's also pleased with how the initial mixing has gone.
Although it's gone really well this morning, it doesn't mean that we're out of the woods yet, as the days or even weeks sometimes it can take before they decide that they're ready for that next step and they want to start interacting with the other animals.
So it's off to a promising start, but it's not yet a done deal.
Over in the lion enclosure, we saw how this pride reacted to sounds of their prey. But what will they do when they hear their arch rival? Gene's with Caleb to find out.
Play the next sound effect for us, please.
Will do. The next track is hyena.
OK, that's brilliant, thanks.
That's the mortal enemy of the lion,
yes,
isn't it?
Another
Hyenas.
mortal enemy, yes. So this has actually stopped them in their tracks a little bit, and they've become initially to work out what it is, and they're very frenzied now, especially the boys. Male lions have a real hatred of hyenas, and as soon as they develop a mane, hyenas will avoid male lions at all costs. It advertises to hyenas, don't even come near.
Yeah, don't mess with me.
So if a group of female lions are on a carcass and there's no males, 6 or 7 hyenas could come and push those lionesses off. If there's a male lion with a mane of any description, very rarely will that carcass get lost out to hyenas because they're that afraid of male lions.
Now, this sounds like a great idea, but is it a bit mean?
No, it's great enrichment for them because obviously they have natural stimulation from other animals around the park, so we're actually just trying to see if they respond in the right way, and obviously if it did distress them in any way, we'd stop it. So the good thing about learning that these sound effects have that response on the cat is we can use it to potentially get them in at night. If there's an emergency, we could play the sound effect that stimulates them most, because if they come running to a certain sound effect and we can reward it, then we can use it as a recall sound.
Right, and I know you've got one last sound effect you're dying to play.
Yes. We've actually got the territorial call of a group of lions, and hopefully they should respond in the right way, which would be announce that this is their territory and they're willing to defend it.
So get to hear them roar.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Can you play the last sound effect, please?
They've all stopped.
Yeah, they've all stopped. They definitely know it's another group of lions. Are they going to be willing to challenge for their territory or not?
Can they count how many's in that other prey?
They can count
so at
how
the
many.
moment they're kind of working out
to
whether
work
they
out.
can challenge them or not. Come on, guys.
It's an incredible noise, though, the sound of these guys roaring. It's the loudest sort of mammalian land animal sound, so it can travel for up to 5 kilometres, and you can actually feel it. When they do roar, you'll actually feel it go through you. It's the vibrations of it as well that helps it carry through any kind of terrain, whether it be rocky, whether it be woodland, whether it be savanna. This sound carries a long distance.
We're just holding back and waiting for Klaus to roar. It's exciting. Amazing.
Yeah, that was incredible. So it took him a little while, but we got the raw reaction that we wanted. And Klaus is the biggest, strongest male lion we have, so I think he was just waiting until there was that perfect silent opportunity for him to just roar on his own.
And you're so right, you can actually feel the vibrations.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm mesmerised by your pride of lions, Caleb. And look, he's smiling from ear to ear.
It's been fantastic, absolutely brilliant. To see what they've done and what they do to the sounds is fantastic.
Earlier, Cheetah Carl was sedated so that the vet could examine a mysterious lump on his elbow. Now Ben's gone to see how he's getting on.
I'm catching up with Carl and Amy. He's looking pretty good now.
Yes, we had a few concerns because he's getting on a little bit.
How old now?
He's 11 years old.
11 years old.
So he's probably got another couple of years left in him. But yeah, he lost a bit of condition, and we're a little bit worried about him. He had a lump on his elbow as well that we were concerned about.
And what did that turn out to be?
It turned out it was just joint fluid.
Right.
So it was just leaking in. He's probably knocked it in time, and it's just leaking into a sac on his elbow.
Right, that must have been a massive relief for you guys.
Oh yeah, it could have been anything. It could have been a tumour, things like that. And obviously with age, the fact that it's just joint fluid, fantastic.
So what is their life expectancy?
12, 13 in captivity.
Given that he's getting on a bit, can he still reproduce? Is he still mating?
We are still hopeful, yes.
So are you hoping for more cubs from Carl and Wilma?
Oh, definitely, yes. We've been recommended to breed them again. So obviously he hasn't got too many years left. So yeah, make the most of it. And yeah, the fact they've been recommended, we've been successful before. Yeah, we'll get them back together, and fingers crossed we will have some more cubs from them.
Well, listen, good luck, Amy. Thank you. I'm thrilled to see Carl doing so well. There you go. I think he's liking it.
He is. He loves his meat.
It's been 10 days since Evie, the new zebra stallion, was introduced to the harem of females.
So far, since he's been out mixed with the herd, we've had some really positive signs. All the girls seem to have accepted him. They've been quite flirty. He has mated a couple of the females already.
Keeper Polly is back on the reserve to see if there's been any changes of behaviour. Studies like these are vital to ensure there's harmony in the group.
Keecha's quite high-ranking. She's always been fairly high-ranking, but her mum, Jinga, has historically been our highest-ranking female. Our stallion's kind of just a little way from her, just grazing. Still with the herd. They've all met him, they've all kind of interacted on some level, but most of the interaction seems to be from the younger females.
The female group is complete with their male leader, and the signs are already promising.
Ebi, our stallion, looked like he was having a bit of a chase of Kabibi, but he has mated her since they've been mixed.
And so far, he hasn't upset any of the other animals on the reserve.
He hasn't been aggressive towards anyone else. He hasn't chased anyone else. He's been focused on managing his females, which is what we want. We want his focus to be his herd.
The Cupid keepers have been spot on with their matchmaking.
It's all looking really positive. That he's fully integrated into the herd, and hopefully we'll have foals in the near future.
Over at Animal Adventure, Jean's meeting a new resident, a quirky-looking creature with some unexpected relatives.
Nadia, who, or should I say what, is this little fella?
This is Groot, and he is our resident elephant shrew.
Elephant shrew, I have to say, I've never quite seen anything like him. Very long tail and a very long nose.
Yes, very long nose.
Tell me a little bit about him.
So they're an African species, and Groot has really long back legs, so he's able to jump around and look for his food.
Yeah, I can see that.
His long nose is obviously like an elephant's trunk.
Ah, so that's where the elephant name comes from, yeah.
And he's not actually a member of the shrew family. Okay. He's actually more closely related to an elephant.
So how can something so small be related to a huge, ginormous elephant?
So the elephant shrew is related to the elephant family. So that includes animals like the aardvarks, the hyrax, and obviously elephants themselves. So it's really cool.
What we love to do when we get a new animal is have a closer look at them. So why don't we get our macro lens and see all those amazing, unique features close up?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, let's do it. So Will's trying to get a shot of our elephant shrew, but that sounds easier than it is to do. See, he's quite fast, he's quite nifty.
Yeah, they have been recorded to get up to about 18 miles per hour.
That's fast.
Really fast.
Look at that, we can really see the nose is going rapid. If you have a look at it there, it is so unique, isn't it? It's a unique feature of this animal.
Definitely.
And what does he use it for?
So he'd use it as a really good method of sense of smell. So he's looking around for his food, mainly bugs. He loves his mealworms. And you can see his nose twisting and turning to look for the bugs.
So I guess in the wild, it's essential for him, you know, his nose is part of his survival.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's sticking it under rocks, and that's quite good, getting it in there, really exploring what's around his environment. And on this shot, you can really see that bunch of whiskers around his face. So what are they doing?
Just trying to sense what his surroundings are, really. Just trying to find his way.
And look at that shot of his legs.
Really long, aren't they?
Yeah, very long and thin and perfect for springing around.
It is recorded that they can jump around 3 feet.
That's
which
amazing.
is really impressive. Hence why we're this side of the glass rather than round the back, because otherwise he may jump out on us.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was awesome to see him up close like that. One of the most unique animals on the park, but one of the hardest to capture.
We've hitched a ride in Ryan's truck up to the East Africa Reserve to catch up with the new young stud. That's obviously not you.
Thanks for that, Kate.
But E.B., your lovely, very handsome stallion, I must say.
He's a cracker, isn't he?
He really is, yeah.
That's looking quite nonchalant at the moment.
He is looking a bit kind of, yeah, well, I'm here.
He's resting.
Is he resting?
He's been a busy boy.
Well, I was going to
has he?
say, yeah.
So mating has been taking place?
Yes, yes, with several of the females already. I've got to say, we're really happy with him. He seems to just take control of his harem.
He's looking like the zebra that got the cream. I mean, look at him.
And gestation period of a zebra, are we talking the same as a horse, about 9 months?
Yeah.
So are you absolutely expecting the trit-trot of tiny hooves in the not-too-distant future?
Definitely, definitely.
Really?
I mean, my gut feeling is I think he's quite potent, and therefore I don't think it'll take too many attempts before they're pregnant.
E.B., keep up the good work, mate.
Fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
We'll, of course, keep you posted. In the meantime, here's what's coming up on the next Animal Park.
The new wolves become new parents.
Django had actually moved one of the pups from being in the den to being just outside the den.
But will the keepers have to step in?
Meet a mixed-up mare pup
Unfortunately for her, I have named her Edgar.
in need of a mum.
You can see why I was never a mum. Absolutely hopeless.
And a meal on the run. Could have a keeper on the menu.
Obviously, you get to be prey for once.